Hey everyone, it's Andy with the Reverb Tone Report, and you just heard Eventide's new Riptide pedal, which combines two effects that really complement each other, vibe and overdrive. Let's take a closer look. By using the same intuitive form factor as Eventide's recent pedals, like the Black Hole and Tricera Chorus, you can save your own clean and dirty concoctions into 5 onboard presets or 127 via MIDI. Each effect has 3 designated controls and independent bypass foot switches. The vibe effect has that heartbeat pulse you've been searching for. Instead of just chorus or vibrato choices, the variable vibe mix lets you find your sweet spot, from subtle pulses to classic 50-50 mix or 100% for wet and wiggly pitch modulation. Other features include 2 voicings for each effect. In green mode, the drive is a classic mid-forward voicing, while the red LED is a fatter, smoother drive and distortion. The alt voicing of the vibe strays into phaser territory with a deeper phase sweep and more high-frequency emphasis. Probably the hardest decision when pairing up vibe and drive is their placement. Luckily, the Riptide solves this with an order swap button, and you could save any combination to your favorite presets and have the best of both worlds. The Riptide also has an expression control with easy programming of heel and toe settings. It's also equipped with stereo ins and outs and lets you switch between guitar or line level, which is great for effects loops or other non-stringed instruments. For full details on the Eventide Riptide, check it out right now on Reverb. So there's a lot to cover here. Let's just start with the vibe and get the classic vibe sound with the mix at halfway and the intensity around 75%, and then we'll just push it to see how far we can go with both the intensity and the mix. And while we're talking about the vibe mix, let's just go all the way up and get that classic vibrato sound, which is taking the dry signal out of the equation, and we get a little bit more of a wiggly univibe sound. When you slow it down, it's a lot more subtle, so here you can just increase the intensity pretty much all the way, and it's just kind of like a warped record effect. It's also a very warm vibe sound right here. And because we have some drive, let's really emphasize those pulses by putting a drive after the vibe. So you'll notice the swap order switch is not illuminated. And without even touching any settings here, let's just swap the order of the effects to see how that really changes their relationship. One thing you really notice is a swishier vibe sound. Let's take a minute and focus on the alternate voicings of the vibe and the drive effects. Starting with drive, you've heard the green mode, which has that classic mid-range punch. Now listen to the red mode, fill out the low end, and just have a different range of gain as well. Now the alternate voicing of the vibe, which really strays into a classic phaser sound. It's almost like the Eventide instant phaser because it has a lot more of that gooiness on the high end. And let's see what happens when we increase the vibe mix in this secondary voicing. So knowing that the red drive mode has a bit more low end and less mids, you could really emphasize some different pulses here, especially if you're using both the alternate voicing of the phaser and the drive. So let's try those two paired up. With the expression pedal plugged in, you could control multiple parameters at once, and they don't always have to be going in the same direction. For example, if you want to increase the speed of the vibe, but you also notice it gets a little bit wiggly, you could simultaneously back off on the intensity. And I'm taking that one step further by increasing the vibe mix when I increase the speed. So basically, we have a classic chorus setting on the vibe in the heel position and a faster vibrato setting in the toe position. I'm also going to be increasing the gain when I move the expression pedal. So you can see the status of where I'm at on this expression pedal by the status LEDs on the side where the presets are. Well, that is the Riptide Vibe and Drive from Eventide. It's been a lot of fun showing you this one, and you can check it out right now on Reverb. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.